Fellow gardeners, let's talk about that shady corner of your yard that's been mocking you all season long. You know, the one where the neighbor's towering oak casts its protective shadow, or where your house blocks the afternoon sun. I used to stare at my own shadowy spots with frustration, convinced they were gardening dead zones. Then I discovered something that changed everything. Some vegetables actually prefer the gentle embrace of partial shade over the harsh glare of full sun. After years of experimenting in my own low-light garden spaces, I've learned that working with nature's existing conditions, rather than fighting them, creates the most rewarding growing experiences. Today I'm sharing 10 incredible vegetables that will transform your shady spaces into productive green havens, using nothing more than the soil you can improve right in your own backyard. Before we dive into our vegetable stars, let's understand what we're working with. Partial shade typically means your garden receives 3 to 6 hours of direct sunlight daily, while dappled shade offers filtered light throughout the day. These conditions might seem limiting, but they're actually perfect for cool season crops that can struggle in intense summer heat. The secret lies in recognizing that many vegetables we consider full sun crops originally evolved in forest understories or cooler climates. By choosing the right varieties and understanding their needs, you can create a thriving ecosystem that produces fresh food all season long. A lettuce stands as the undisputed king of shady vegetable gardens. In my experience, lettuce grown in partial shade actually tastes better than its sun-stressed counterparts. The leaves stay tender longer, and you won't deal with the bitter bite that comes from bolting in hot weather. Try butterhead varieties like Bibb or Boston, which develop those gorgeous loose rosettes even in lower light conditions. Spinach follows closely behind, practically begging for cooler, shadier conditions. I've found that spinach grown in morning sun and afternoon shade produces the most tender leaves with that sweet, earthy flavor we all crave. The space variety works particularly well in containers if you're dealing with challenging soil conditions. Arugula brings that peppery punch to your shade garden while asking for very little in return. This Mediterranean native actually prefers some protection from harsh afternoon sun, making it perfect for those transitional areas between full sun and full shade. The flowers are edible too, adding a spicy note to salads when the plants eventually bolt. Kale has become my go-to recommendation for beginning shade gardeners, because it's nearly indestructible and actually sweetens after a light frost. The Red Russian variety produces beautiful oak-shaped leaves with purple stems that look stunning in ornamental shade gardens. I've grown kale successfully with as little as 4 hours of morning sun. Bok choy and other Asian greens deserve special mention here. These fast-growing vegetables mature quickly in cool conditions and provide continuous harvest when succession planted every 2 weeks. The tender baby leaves work perfectly in stir-fries, while mature heads can be harvested whole. Broccoli might surprise you on this list, but early season plantings in partial shade often outperform their full sun counterparts once summer heat arrives. The key is timing your plantings for spring and fall harvests, when the lower light levels actually protect the developing heads from stress. Radishes prove that root vegetables can thrive in lower light conditions. These quick-growing crops mature in just 25 to 30 days, making them perfect for succession planting throughout the growing season. The Cherry Belle variety produces crisp, mild radishes even in partial shade, while French breakfast offers that classic elongated shape with a white tip. Carrots represent one of my biggest shade gardening discoveries. While they may grow slightly slower in partial shade, the roots often develop better flavor and less woody texture. Short varieties like Paris Market work exceptionally well in shadier conditions and don't require the deep soil preparation that longer varieties demand. Beets deliver double value in shade gardens. You can harvest the nutritious greens for salads while waiting for the roots to mature. The Detroit Dark Red variety adapts well to various light conditions, while Chioggia offers those stunning striped interiors that make every harvest feel special. Bush beans round out our list as the protein powerhouse of the shade garden. While pole beans typically need more sun, compact bush varieties can produce well with 4 to 5 hours of direct sunlight. I've had excellent success with Provider green beans and Cherokee Trail of Tears black beans in my partially shaded raised beds. Rather than purchasing expensive bagged soil amendments, focus on building your shade garden soil organically. Shaded areas often have naturally higher organic matter from falling leaves, which creates an excellent foundation. Add your kitchen scraps through composting and incorporate aged leaves from your own yard. The key difference in shade gardening soil management is understanding that these cooler, moisture conditions slow decomposition. This means organic matter lasts longer, but you need to be more patient with soil improvements. I've found that mixing in some coarse sand or perlite helps with drainage in areas where moisture tends to linger. Timing becomes crucial in shade gardens since plants grow more slowly in lower light. Start your spring crops earlier than you might in full sun areas, and take advantage of the extended growing season that shade provides. Many of these vegetables will continue producing well into fall when their sun-loving cousins have long since given up. Pay attention to your specific microclimate. Morning sun with afternoon shade often works better than the reverse, and areas with bright indirect light can be just as productive as those receiving direct sun for shorter periods. Transforming that neglected shady corner into a productive vegetable garden doesn't require store-bought soil or expensive amendments. By choosing the right vegetables and working with your existing conditions, you can create a thriving garden ecosystem that produces fresh food throughout the growing season. Remember, every successful garden starts with understanding what your space wants to grow, not forcing it to accommodate your initial vision. These 10 vegetables are eager to prove that shade gardening can be just as rewarding and productive as any sunny plot. Ready to turn your shady spaces into productive garden gold? Subscribe to Soil Sage Chronicles for more practical gardening wisdom that works with nature, not against it. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to see their challenging spaces in a whole new light, or should I say, shade.